gonna get me copyright claimed, but oops. Sadoopsel. Hey everybody. We know what this is. I think we all know what this is. It's me playing Spavo. I have one run from the weekly, and I'm not gonna show it today, on the stream. It's gonna have to wait. I basically already commented over it. It's recorded. It's a recorded thing. Hopefully I'll get to that today. Hopefully. But yeah, let's do what I usually do. Super Auto Pets. So I'm gonna put on my playlist of miscellaneous musics. And I'm gonna put on, oh whoops. Blind Weekly, I guess, as blind as I can get it. Bibsh, Roach, and Ants. Yes. How's everyone been doing? This is a dilemma. Oh, it's snowing. That's always not good. I'm pretty certain I do not have the guinea pig. Draws get straws. Give it a... See, what do I do here? What is my plan? Donkey staying in there. Plan is to put the tamarind stats onto the donkey. Donkey. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. It's a Hippo Weekly. Hippo Weekly, everybody. Alright, well... It's fine. I'm gonna get a nice tier 6. Cool. Oh, actually cool. Yes! Hey, Dylan. Nice to have you here. Oh, alright. This is... I do not have perks, it's husky time. So there's some light summon shenanigans this week. Chicken. Alright, drawing. We're drawing again. Alright, here it is. Oh yeah, no, I'm not making it through this one, laddies. Hey, we're gonna brush ourselves off and try again. Must be some helpless hipsters. I think I already... Alright. Listen, I already played through once, it's not blind anymore. Yeah, I do have the bulldog. So if I'm getting ribbons, then I'm just gonna need 4 and a 5 and a 6 and a 7. 7. Decision has been made for me. And it worked out. Oh. To get some starter battles going on here. know what? There we go, got some scaling. Ah, no. Oh, sorry. Whoops. Got waffles? No, we don't. So, I do want to get more Zogs. An extra yes. Alright, well, I don't feel too hopeful for prospects. On super lethal. Okay. Purple puddings. Maximum team disruption. That's what I'm going for this time around, maybe. Okay, alright, message received. Well, I have very, very low hopes for this team. Idea. Force squad. That's tomorrow. Alright, yeah, okay. Fish maxing. There we go, alright, I think I've managed into it. Alright, yeah, I'm feeling it. Mr. Crab. now, Mr. Krabs? Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Art thou feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Anything that goes with the slug. Yes, we do. Okay, well, that's gonna be my gamble. No more on the llama, I think. Llama ship has sailed. Alright, got pill? No, we don't. We don't have anything. We can't get. It's fine. I should have taken the pineapple and put it on the crock ice. don't think I'm gonna be making it through this one. Scummy Facebook marketing place. It's found somebody trying to sell things to me specifically. Oh boy, I cannot wait for that episode of Cleric of Madness' shopping channel. Nice. It's a pizza toaster and marshmallow toaster s'more machine. Yes, that sounds pretty good. Squeaky robots, yes. Gonna level up the Hive Tamarin. I don't like the cut of his face. I don't even think there is anything that makes trumpets this weekly. Oh cool, there goes my team. And theirs. Alright, level 3 Storm. Slug, come on, bro. Somebody show off their home theater. It was decked out with a full personal concession stand. Dude had a big popcorn maker, a nacho cheese toaster, pretzel machine, fully stocked candy. Super jealous. Personally. Well, duh. I'm not. A full spread and then sat down to watch Family Guy. You have that whole big home theater setup and you're using it to watch Family Guy? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? What the? What was that? What was that sequence of events? That was some hilarious bullshit. Oh my god. No, I have to see that again. Okay, turning off autoplay. So, obviously, alright, this is where the real shit begins, alright? They have Tapir, they go up. Tapir summons a level 1 copy of a random friendly pet, and it makes an orca. Turkey gives the stats out of the orca. Now my stork goes out and gets buffed by the turkey, and the shark gets its buff, but the orca faints and summons one random faint pet from any pack, and it makes an eagle, which summons one pet from the next shop tier. And it makes a tapir. Okay. Then the tapir faints, and what does it make? It makes another orca. Wow. Literally back where we started. If you get hit with the RNG good enough, that is potentially infinite. Okay, cool. Now they get also bullshit. But is my bullshit better than theirs? It isn't. I'm sorry, what? Whoops. The only reason you would want to make the big theater screen is so you can do it at home, and yeah. Fair, valid. Oh cool, it's ogre. Alright. Giggling turtling. Just need a popcorn machine. It's not poopy garbage. Just press the popcorn button on your microwave. Yeah, I kinda know. Ooh! That's potential bison. Specialty butter and salt. Yeah, I guess they do. Favorite theater snack in addition to or instead of popcorn? That's a good question. Never had an icy, I don't think. I think I am maybe partial to that, theater nachos, those were brought up. That's pretty good. At least from what I've had. Maybe a little bit of a candy or something. we have chocolate? We do have chocolate. Stovetop? Yes. Defeat. Yes. Failures. Yeah, I got it, Toga. Radiating babies. Alright, so those turns were a disaster, but X wins. I don't think microbe is it. Really? Cartoon events, yes. We're gonna do it, okay? Not good. Oh, fine. That's acceptable. Alright, yeah. Take some Mr. Potato. Potatoes. Yes, we're at 5. Are we gonna make it past the believer threshold? I don't think we're gonna be making it past that believer threshold. We're making it past that believer threshold. We made it. Okay. And now... Not taking the level 3 Orca. Oh, nice. Good stonefish spawn. Alright, well, I'm gonna try again. And This time. This time. Going for it. Alright, the plan is just full-on summons. You have the microbes, set them up, the summons, knock them down. Do this at home. Yeah, whoops. Well, that's that for Spabo. But that doesn't mean that's it for the stream, because guess what? Uh, this is, I guess your guess is not necessarily, because here we are, we're doing it. We're looking at this now. Now it is look at time. Reading a skippity bunch of numbers. Now, we're gonna learn. Let's learn about some skibbies. This is SCP-140. Object Class Getter. Special Containment Procedures. I'm going to put on some spoopy ambience or some sort. Oh, that's music, not... Here we go. Procedures of Special Containment. SCP-140 must never be brought closer than 15 meters to any source of standard ink, human blood, or other fluids suitable for writing. Any contamination by blood or ink must be reported immediately. Any remaining copies of SCP-140 created during the initial printing must be found and destroyed as soon as possible. Only SCP-140 is to be preserved for purposes of study, early warning, and cataloging and recording possible SCPs derived from its subject matter. SCP-140 is contained at Site-76 in a sealed vault containing a single desk. At this time, no research is to be carried out upon the original SCP-140. Researchers are to read from prepared copies not bearing the signature of its author, which lack its properties. In the event of approved research, SCP-140 may not be removed from the vault, and readers may not be in contact with it for longer than 9 hours. Access requires written approval from the head researcher for the explicit purposes of testing. An armed guard stationed outside the vault will meet any attempted theft with deadly force. Should any personnel begin displaying obsession with SCP-140 or signs of possible memetic contamination, they are to be issued a Class A amnestic, false memories implanted as necessary, and transferred to another project. Transferred personnel must be monitored for signs of relapse. Description: SCP-140 is a modern hard copy book with an unremarkable black binding and an unknown number of white pages. The book jacket is missing, but the title, A Chronicle of the Devas, is clearly legible. The inside cover is signed by the author, whose name is indecipherable. The text is copyrighted 19 blank. Careful examination reveals there are far more pages between the bindings than could be contained within them. Readers admit to feelings of paranoia, unease, and occasional nausea while reading SCP-140, although this may be related to the subject material. Nonetheless, readers almost universally describe SCP-140 as fascinating and express continued interest despite its frequently unsettling content. 1 in 15 readers describe SCP-140 as having a faint odor of dried blood. SCP-140 is a detailed account of an ancient civilization originating in what is now south-central Siberia, identified as the Davites. Although, like all cultures, the Davites evolved and changed over time, they appear to have exhibited unusual continuity. Universal fixtures of the Davite culture in all periods included militarism, conquest, ancestor worship, urban centers ruling over large slave populations, gruesome human sacrifice, and the practice of apparently efficacious thaumaturgic rituals. A variety of relics and creatures produced by the Daevite culture would be abnormal or dangerous enough, if the account is to be believed, qualified for containment in their own right. If SCP-140 comes into contact with any fluid suitable for writing, including human blood, the account of the Daevite civilization's history expands. Human blood appears to be the most potent of possible writing substances, but in any case the amount of new material does not correspond proportionately to the fluids introduced. Although these new segments sometimes include new descriptions of rituals or cultural traits or illustrations of previously covered material, they more frequently include new, more recent accounts of information chronicling the continued history of the Daevite civilization or descriptions of new individuals and artifacts. Formerly decisive defeats became setbacks. New persons and events are inserted. Foundation archaeologists have discovered corresponding new artifacts and traces of the Daevite civilization in applicable locations and strata, in some cases found in dig sites that had already been thoroughly explored. Although at times the Daevites were a collection of city-states, they appear to have consistently returned to imperialism under theocratic aristocracy, the Deva, practitioners of cannibalism and thaumaturgy. Although initially Foundation research was believed the Deva to have been a hereditary class recycling the names of noteworthy individuals, evidence and the events of blankety blank, year 2000 blank, now suggest that the Deva possessed preternatural longevity as a result of redacted. Several researchers, notably Professor Blank, have concluded the Deva were so divergent from modern humans as to be a separate subspecies, a conclusion supported by graphic representations within SCP-140 and data expunged. SCP-140 is remarkably detailed by the standards of a primary source, seeming closer to a biography than a historic text. It includes lurid descriptions of sacrificial rites, battlefield descriptions, daily life, and the life stories of various noteworthy individuals, including quotes and dates of birth. Over triple-digit distinct individuals have been identified, including the individual presently termed SCP-140-A, of which only double digits are accounted for by any recorded deaths. Foundation archaeologists have discovered several sites containing ruins consistent with the supposed Daevite culture in various locations across Siberia, northern Iran, and Mongolia. Artifacts and traces of intercultural conflict and contact have been discovered as far west as the Carpathian Mountains and as far east as northern Pakistan and China. These include SCP Redacted. Addendum 140-A. SCP-140 was originally found in the office of deceased historian blank blank. The previous owner was discovered in his office at blank University, having expired from self-inflicted lacerations on both wrists. There were no traces of blank's blood in the office. Blank's colleagues claimed during interviews they discovered a note in faded ink in blank's handwriting next to SCP-140. All witnesses were administered Class A amnesiacs, and false memories implanted. Blank's note read, "I have to know. I'm sorry." All texts within 15 meters except several books relating to the history of the region were blank. Remaining books now included accounts of supposed interaction between the Davite civilization and the subject cultures or applicable discussions of Davite history and culture. These texts were confiscated. All printed forms and media were blank. All pens, printers, and ink cartridges were empty. Addendum 140B. Although SCP-140 was published during the 20th century, the tone of the book suggests it is a recounting of events, individuals, and practices experienced firsthand by SCP-140's unknown author. Foundation investigators have tracked SCP-140's publication to the Data Expunged printing house in a batch of double-digit copies self-published by a wealthy individual hereby termed SCP-140-A. SCP-140-A's signature on the contract matches the strange signature inside SCP-140. More than 40 blank of the copies produced in this batch were apparently leached of all ink by the double-digit remaining copies. To date, Foundation agents have recovered and destroyed double digits of the remainder, but between single-digit and double-digit remain at large. 2 expansion events have been reported during periods when SCP-140 had never been exposed to fluids of any sort or removed from its vault. An investigation and manhunt for the author of SCP-140 is ongoing. In the event of contact, agents are advised, data redacted. Addendum 140-C. For study of SCP-140 and other contained objects related to the Davite civilization, Foundation researchers have concluded that, transposed to the modern era, the resurgence of a hostile Davite civilization in history more recent than 1000 blank CE constitute a grave and even possibly retroactive threat to the Foundation and modern civilization as we know it. Even best-case projections of Davite resurgence in the modern day suggest a CK-class restructuring of modern society and a worldwide conflict with a projected death toll of at least redacted, and an end to the Foundation's secrecy. Addendum 140-D. Blankety Blank's journal, found on his home PC in Data Expunged, indicates that upon his initial reading of SCP-140, it ended with the almost utter destruction of the Davite civilization and the genocide of all known Deva in the year 200 blankety blank BCE by the forces of Chinese General Qin Lai. King Kai. Fuck. My mistake. As a result of subsequent containment breaches, including those detailed in the journal, copious quantities of new material have been added, describing survivors regrouping and migrating to another region, central Siberia, rebuilding their empire steadily, and continuing to advance culturally and technologically. At present, the empire is described as having finally been crushed by Genghis Khan during the early period of his conquests, although the fates of many important persons and several cities remain ambiguous. Foundation archaeologists will be dispatched to Expunged for investigation and research. Addendum 140-E. After the incident in sometime during the 2000s at Alright, Qin Kai. Chinese General Qin Kai. Thank you, Rika. Incident at Data Expunged dig site resulting in over triple-digit casualties. All Foundation archaeologists excavating sites of suspected Davite artifacts or ruins are to be accompanied by a fully armed security team. SCP-141 has been neutralized. SCP-142 remains at large. All other anomalous contacts and artifacts were destroyed when the dig site was struck by a cruise missile. Agent blank received a commendation and was treated for post-traumatic stress disorder. Dr. blank received a posthumous commendation for courage. An investigation into the possible involvement of SCP-140-A or their agents in the events of this date is ongoing. Well, that's a bit, spooky. Well, oh hey, we got... There's a continuation of this. Who wants to know how this ends? Surely it would be a very profitable and prosperous, and everything is gonna go well for everybody. Oh. Item number 6140, Level 1 Unrestricted. Containment Class Header. Disruption Class Amida. Risk Class Critical. Special Containment Procedures. Joint Task Force Omega 100 Last Stand has been established in cooperation with the following organizations: Global Occult Coalition, Pentagram, the Abnormal Affairs Management 19th Bureau, a paranormal enforcement division of the Ministry of National Security of the People's Republic of China, GRU Division P. Until containment is established or the Foundation falls, Mobile Task Force New 7, Hammered Down, has been folded into JTF Omega 100 and placed under the direct oversight of 056. Foundation facilities and active areas are being evacuated and replaced with contingents of JTF Omega 100 in accordance with Deployment Plan 6140. Description: SCP-6140 is the Davite Empire as described in SCP-140, expected to fully materialize within consensus reality on March 20th, 2022. SCP-140 has fully breached containment and will result in Incident 140-CK, causing SCP-6140 to manifest. The Overseer Council has preemptively declared the event a B-Class Broken Masquerade scenario, due to the extensive use of hostile and reality-altering anomalies by SCP-6140, even into the modern day. Predicted territorial extent upon manifestation. Oh, that's not good. That's like a quarter or a fifth of the planet. I'm assuming. I'm not math literate, but that's how I'm picturing it. Addendum 1. Threat Assessment. A joint working group between the Department of Analytics and the Department of Applied Force produced a report outlining the primary dangers associated with a modern-day Davite empire. It was based on information from SCP-140, archaeological findings, a study of Davic inscriptions and documents, and parastatistical data models. Description: ground force, threat high. Notes: estimated active personnel of 2.4 million. Full access to modern equipment via purchases from foreign suppliers. Air Force, medium threat. Comparatively small but modern Air Force. Existence of stealth technology contested, though anomalous modification of aircraft is possible. Navy, low. The controlled area is largely landlocked. Outside alliances, high. SCP-6140 will likely have extensive control or influence over nearby countries, far beyond its boundaries. Operations are underway to preserve geopolitical structure and prevent immediate cascade into an SK-class dominance shift scenario. Infrastructure, high. Military organs should have no difficulty transferring troops and equipment, even in the event of a multi-front war. Espionage, unknown. Existence of a national spy agency likely. Further details about capabilities are unknown. Humanoid modification, medium. Able to cause significant changes to individuals for specific purposes. Possible tactical possibilities unknown. Apex tier pluripotent entity collusion. That's based. Apex tier pluripotent entity is basically the opposite of shorthand for God. So collusion with a God entity. High. Destructive ability believed to be enhanced through pacts with a Scarlet King, who we're gonna also get into probably the next time we do this. Just know that of the many bad guys in SCP lore, Scarlet King is probably up there. Biological weaponry, high. Historical records show highly developed anomalous transfiguration abilities, possibility of plant or fungus-based contagion likely. Nuclear weaponry, severe. Davite control of nuclear weapons and ICBMs for delivery is a certainty. So, I'm gonna catch you all up to speed here. This is a culture that's been written about, and for like centuries, this culture has been described as being savage, militaristic cannibals that sacrifice droves of slaves to serve their evil god. And they now have nuclear weapons if they were to be brought into the modern age. Just so you know what the stakes are here. Addendum 2. Inciting incident. The existence of SCP-6140 is a consequence of a terminal containment breach featuring SCP-140. The original anomalous print run of A Chronicle of the Devas, published by SCP-140-A, consisted of 75 copies. Of these, 49 were destroyed by SCP-140's anomalous capabilities. Foundation agents were able to locate 20 copies and safely destroy them, leaving 6 copies remaining, SCP-140, and 5 additional copies outside of containment, collectively designated SCP-140-B. One of these uncontained instances was in the personal collection of Richard Bruce, 11th Earl of Elgin, a known Marshall, Carter, and Dark associate. Note, for those who aren't in the aware, Marshall, Carter, and Dark are evil capitalist people who do, like, they're a counterpart to the Foundation that sells anomalous stuff, rather than just keeping it away safely. They're a big fan of war crimes. Although Bruce observed the proper protocols for handling his copy of SCP-140-B and did not allow any liquids nearby, general security on his property was lax. As a result, a group of lightly armed anomalous individuals were able to break into his estate and steal it. Following the theft, Bruce immediately contacted Marshall, Carter, and Dark to report the incident. Given the danger inherent in SCP-140, MC and D contacted the Foundation through a liaison, agreeing to allow the Foundation to contain it upon recovery. Mobile Task Force MU-3, Highest Bidders, was deployed to find the SCP-140-B instance. It was quickly determined that it had been stolen by a sect of the Children of the Scarlet King, intending to use SCP-140-B instance to resurrect the Davite Empire, where the Scarlet King was worshipped prominently. MTF-MU-3 tracked the cult to a house in Elgin, Moray, Scotland, and attempted to intervene. However, they were too late and arrived to find that the ritual had been completed. Meanwhile, surveillance footage showed that, shortly before their arrival, SCP-140 spontaneously combusted while in containment. Global Occult Coalition, Horizon Initiative, and Serpent's Hand, each of which owned a copy of the Chronicles of the Devas, confirmed that their own copies combusted at the same time as SCP-140. The location of the 5th SCP-140-B instance is unknown. It is assumed to have combusted as well. As best as can be determined by Foundation investigators, the ritual involved the ignition of SCP-140-B to quote, bring forth the one true empire from this hoary and tired parchment, unquote. Thaumaturgic sympathy bonds caused the simultaneous destruction of all other copies of the Chronicles of the Devas. Following the ritual's completion, all known Davite artifacts began emitting Omicron-pattern Hume radiation. It should be noted that Hume radiation is a type of energy in SCP lore that describe that, like, it's how real something is. So that means this thing that's basically only existed in a book, but has steadily been seeping its way into reality, is now just full-blown blasting its way in. The ritual was performed on the winter solstice, defined in the ritual as symbolically equivalent to midnight, but is not expected to take full effect until the vernal equinox, likewise defined as a symbolic of dawn, when the Davite Empire will manifest in consensus reality at once, defined as awakening following a deep sleep or fugue. Addendum 3. Foundation Briefing. The following bulletin was sent to all Foundation personnel to brief them on the impending manifestation of SCP-140 in baseline reality. from 051 at foundation.scp to list server all staff. Subject impending CK class scenario Davite Empire. Date 28th of December 2021. To all members of the Foundation, in 3 months' time, there will be a CK class scenario of unprecedented magnitude. On March 20th, 2022, the Davite Empire will manifest in present consensus reality. Current estimates suggest that its territorial extent will stretch from most of Siberia down to Iran and replacing the western half of China. For the benefit of personnel unfamiliar with the Davite Empire or SCP-140, a brief summary follows. The Davite Empire would be one of the most hostile and anomalous nations to have ever existed. Several novel thaumaturgic practices were developed in this area, including hemomancy, herbomancy, and necromancy. The state religion enforces worship of the Scarlet King, a violent divine figure. An extant version of this group, known as the Children of the Scarlet King, has attempted to cause world-ending events on several occasions by summoning their deity. Their anomalous warfare capabilities will have been greatly enhanced through access to modern technology and weaponry. The danger or nature of such enhancements are unknown, but are believed to be extensive. All existing exploratory research projects are suspended. All non-essential containment work is suspended. Sites have been assigned specific tasks to protect as much of humanity as is possible. Expect a bulletin detailing your new priorities. On March 19th, all essential personnel will be moved to reality-anchored sites to provide immunity to the CK class scenario. Class A or designated personnel will be relocated to extra-dimensional sites. We are currently working on installing additional Zyank Anastasakos constant temporal sinks exacts to resist retroactive disruption to the Foundation's existence. We will survive the reappearance of the Davite Empire. Regardless of what happens on March 20th, normalcy will be protected. The consensus will be maintained. From the desk of 051, secure, contain, protect. Alert. Breach has begun. Wait, uh-oh. Uh-oh, the breach is happening. Breach is happening. Item number 6140. Clearance level 1, unrestricted. Containment class, neutralized. Special containment procedures. Outside of archival documentation, SCP-6140-A should be referred to by its legal name rather than as an SCP object. It is not considered anomalous. Information regarding SCP-6140 is classified Level 1 and available for research. Pictured, Chavet, Davistan. Description. SCP-6140 was a CK-class scenario which resulted in the remanifestation of SCP-6140-A, a UN-recognized state officially known as the Republic of Davistan. Predecessor nations include the Davite Empire, various tribal sects, and its membership within the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, all of which were forcibly suppressed from consensus reality until SCP-6140 occurred on March 20th, 2022. SCP-6140 occurred due to the destruction of SCP-140, a text which purported to describe the historical Davite Empire. It is now known that SCP-140 was highly inaccurate. Further, it was discovered that the former prevailing theory as to the operation of SCP-140, that it was restoring an ontologically annihilated civilization into being, was only partially correct. It was also the phenomena that had initially ontologically annihilated Davite history. The complete destruction of all copies of SCP-140 undid its effects and ontologically reinstated SCP-6140-A to its original form. Most Foundation installations and personnel were reality-anchored in preparation for this event, and thus were unaffected. As a result, the internal consensus of the Foundation is now at odds with greater consensus reality. Discrepancies between reality have yet to be fully reconciled. The Foundation is currently working towards briefing personnel on the inaccuracies described in SCP-140. Addendum 1. Historical Comparisons. The following table outlines inaccuracies described in SCP-140 and the truth as present in the legitimate Davistan. The history of the Davites is remarkably consistent, displaying little evolution over time. Completely unsupported. Davite culture has transformed significantly as technology and social conditions changed. This lack of evolution is believed to correspond to a lack of imagination on the part of SCP-140-A. The Davite Empire contained an imperial cult to the Scarlet King, who survived to the modern day as the children of the Scarlet King. This cult focused on violent masculinity as embodied in the Scarlet King. The Scarlet King never existed. The myth of the Scarlet King was invented by SCP-140-A to downplay the leadership of the Eptem Ansor, the 7 matriarchal rulers who read the Grand Khanate of the Deva. Modern scholarship translates Eptem Ansor as 7 mothers. A less accurate translation would be as the 7 brides. SCP-140-A misinterpreted this name either intentionally or accidentally, and subvert the Davite matriarchy in favor of a more familiar Western patriarchy. The Davite Empire had one of the largest slave populations of any civilization in history, with approximately 75% of the total population being enslaved. True. However, shortly following this peak, a slave revolution destroyed the Davite Empire. All successor states have defined themselves as heirs to this revolution and vocally opposed slavery, save for the short-lived Kovar sect, which collapsed following a military coup. The Davites were led by a long-lived and anomalous human subspecies known as the Deva, which practiced extensive cannibalism. The Deva were baseline humans who styled themselves as divine and were known to practice cannibalism. However, the Deva ruling class was obliterated during the slave revolution that destroyed the Davite Empire. Later Davite nations used the title of Deva for various leadership positions, but these later Deva had little relation to the original ruling class and did not style themselves as divine. For instance, the chief diplomat of the modern state is called the Deva of Foreign Affairs. SCP-76 is a humanoid anomaly within Foundation containment, an immortal warrior only capable of thinking about violence and farming. SCP-73 is another immortal humanoid, also in containment, believed to be the brother of SCP-76. Their names are believed to be Avlishal and Cain, respectively, and they are suspected to be related to Abel and Cain from Genesis. Avlishal and Shayin are Davite cultural heroes with no relation to any Abrahamic faith. Together they led the slave rebellion against the Davite Empire. Neither was anomalous. The Davites practiced an anomalous form of horticulture capable of creating sapient and highly anomalous plant matter with various effects. Various anomalies contained under the designations SCP-3140, SCP-392, and SCP-3399. Davite horticulture is highly advanced, but not anomalous. Techniques used in the nation have formed the basis for general horticulture around the world. Addendum 2. Profile of SCP-140-A. In the months following SCP-6140, multiple Foundation investigations were launched to explain the massive discrepancy between the observed Davistani nation and the country described in SCP-140. One such inquiry into the SCP-140-A, the author of SCP-140, Foundation's historians suspected of having authorial bias. An investigation team determined that SCP-140-A was Thomas Bruce, the 6th Earl of Elgin and ancestor of Richard Bruce. It was originally believed that Thomas Bruce had sponsored Avlishal Curix in publishing a work which described the Davite Empire. Analyzing records present within Davistan, it has been determined that Avlishal Curix never actually existed and was merely Bruce's pen name. In 1786, Thomas Bruce visited the Grand Khanate of the Deva. At the time, the country was significantly reduced from the height of its former power. The historical Davite Empire existed as squabbling regional powers. Bruce was fascinated by the past of the country to the point of completely ignoring its present state. He wrote the Chronicles of the Devas, which ignored most of the country's history and blended its popular mythology into the nation's history. A single copy of this text from the original print run of 75 copies was preserved in the Davite National Library, allowing it to survive both CK-class scenarios. It is believed that Bruce made contact with an unknown occultist for the printing of the Chronicles of the Devas. An extensive ritual was performed, and the printing began on June 20th, 1788, the summer solstice. Soon after, SCP-6140 began on September 22nd, 1788, the autumnal equinox. This event fully removed Davite predecessor states from reality, transforming the inaccurate ethnography into the only ethnography. Addendum 3. Dr. Jad Lashal's testimony. The Overseer Council asked Dr. Jad Lashal Pratin, a Davistani member of the Foundation. Footnote, in the wake of SCP-6140, it was discovered that the Foundation had two facilities, Site 761 and Area 25, within Davistan. Personnel located there were only aware of a reality where Davistan had continually existed, but were fully loyal to the Foundation. To give a briefing on its national history in the immediate wake of SCP-6140, the following is a transcript of the briefing that he presented at the Council on March 21st, 2022. Hello, everyone. Hope you're well. I recognize some of you, but the feeling is not mutual. You've asked me to give a briefing on my home country, which none of you knew existed. To make it worse, you are more familiar with a wildly inaccurate 18th century English Orientalist scandalous and highly embellished depiction of our country, which was in fact anomalous and removed our country from existence entirely. This version of our country, if it had ever existed, would have been the bloodiest and most anomalous civilization in the world. You called me here to describe what my Davistan is. I'm not going to do that. You can find out what we're like later. No, today I'm going to argue that we deserve to live, because that's the real reason you called me here. To decide what to do in the wake of this CK-class scenario. I don't even know where to begin with that. I think I'll start with myself, why I'm here. In the timeline and world I remember, we were not expecting anything to happen on the equinox. As such, we had reduced security in the temporal exclusion and reality anchoring sites and more personnel allowed outside them. All at normal levels, of course. I happened to be outside a site at the time, traveling between 1, then the 6140 hit, and now we don't agree about anything. So you have that as a problem. Clearly have more consensus reality on our side. It's everybody else in the world who isn't a skipper than you do, so we're here to stay, I think. You have to let us stay. It's our whole ethos. That means I need to give you a crash course into our history. My people, my nation, we're not anomalous. If the briefing you gave me is true, and I really have no idea because it was incredibly brief, then we have been on the wrong side of the joke for something along the line of 200 years. We're the victims here. I'm worried that your knee-jerk reaction will be to play the joke again, because that's what you do. I've dealt with all of you before, in my reality, the one I remember. I guess those versions of you are lost, but let's be honest. You haven't changed. None of you have changed in the entire time you've been alive. That's centuries for some of you, right? We're a peaceful country. If it wasn't for the actions of a single Orientalist and his book, a book I read as an academic curiosity, we wouldn't be sitting here today. You wouldn't know the difference between us and anywhere else in the world. Yes, we had a bloody past, but not without consequence. Yes, the Daevite Empire had one of the highest rates of slavery in the world, of any country ever. Perhaps it was only higher in Sparta with the Helots. But do you know what happened next? We ripped the Devas apart and burned their palaces to the ground. A single prince decided to eat an enslaved child when there were more slaves than free men. So his estate rose up and hanged him. And then because there were more slaves than Devas, that initial rebellion spread outward, toppled the entire empire. The true history of our nation is not one of eternal slavery, no. We were the first nation in the world to outlaw the practice, and we never let it return. But a single man saw that past. That single moment in which a prince ate a child, and he sketched it into eternity. He made it the past of the country. That slavery was the backbone of our entire past and the present. The revolution wasn't salacious enough for him, so he took the moment in time that was, and he made it the only image of the country, the only one that could exist, but without the release of revolution. Depravity, but without consequence. And it spirals from there, becoming worse and worse. Because we had no voice, nothing to say, stop, it wasn't like that. It was nothing but tragedy, what he did. So I come before you today, and I have to beg you, do not repeat what he did. Do not do the same things. Do not force us back into the dark. Please. And that was SCP-140 and SCP-6140. SCP-140 was created by Assertive Roland from the SCP Wiki, licensed under CC by SA. SCP-6140 is by Eyes Mallard and Stormbreath from the SCP Wiki, licensed under CC by SA. I hope you all enjoyed this sort of history lesson into Davistan. The, I guess, newly formed Davistan. The Davite Empire has been obviously a thing since Series 1 of SCP. And I really like this interpretation of how these events go, where, like, it's like just one weirdo dude wrote a book and then just used it to erase an actual nation or set of nations from existence, so that the only thing that could exist is, like, the false version. I think I've noticed Davistan mentioned in several other SCPs, so I personally hope that Davistan manages to be a sort of mainstay, I guess, in the SCP lore. Just like a regular country. Like, look at that. Look at that. The world's most regular country. So yeah, that was double SCP reading time. Done as, I guess, a sort of research tool. You know, just get me up to date, because I have ideas. I've stated so in, like, Discord server I'm in, and in the weekly recap video that I'm going to be working on. I am going to be writing something for upcoming SCP-8000 contest. And the theme is fantasy. It's fantasy themed. And what I was going to go for was a sort of Final Fantasy type feeling, where, you know, you're just following, like, a group of adventurers of a sort around the world. And, you know, there's all different parts to the world. Different histories. Davistan would probably be one such place. I'm trying to find a funny haha music, but I can't find anything.
I have your brain scanned and permanently backed up in case something terrible happens to you, which it's just about to. Don't believe me? Here, I'll put you on.
Hello?
That's...
Oh, come on, boo! I try to find the thing.
Don't believe me? Here, I'll put you on.
Eat! Pant. Oh, that's... Well, I can't find the funny noise, so that'll be it then.